So this is the time of the month, around the 1st, the time releasing this is your ex coming back. And this is for those of you who are actually anticipating and hoping that somebody might return, or you are considering to return back to them. This is also good for on and off relationships and kind of like get a better perspective and balance. This is also very good for people to know what is he or she thinking if you're thinking in a distance. Now this is a general reading, and this may be a message for you. There are like thousands of people viewing these videos, so maybe you needed to receive this message, or maybe it wasn't for you. So don't jump the gun. Maybe some other message is going to go being directed to you. It is only the personal reading that I kind of like summarize and summon that energy for you. If you are here the first time, please stay on to kind of like see the explanation to why am I doing this. If you're not, hey guys, just jump right in. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in a few seconds. So if you're the first time here, I'm going to explain to you this set of cards. These are the cards taken from a different deck. You will see the same cards in this one as well, and they are so-called significators in tarot. I don't know how much you know about tarot, but spreads are not as easy as they appear to be. Sometimes it looks like, oh, just like people throw things together. No, it is like, do you want to, it's like cooking. You cannot put everything with everything to actually work out. So it took me forever. Actually, that 7th card, it's just like a lottery. It was really, really difficult, and literally getting a good spread, it is like a bingo. So I have these 7 cards. They're like just like the titles of the book, and I'm not reading those cards. They're just representing what I want to find out here. What I'm reading is like what is coming underneath. And so again, this is for those of you who either have on and off relationship, or who are hoping for the ex to come back, or who actually really want to peek in their mind and to see what they're thinking about you. That's kind of like really neat feature of this spread. So the very first card, the Magician. The Magician is generally somebody who can create anything out of nothing. As above, so below, from A to Z. Like, this is not an advertising for Amazon. Something that can actually really go forward. Generally in this category, I really want to see the things that are going for you. So if you have negative cards here, of course, maybe something was just like not a go from the beginning, or it's not starter. Temperance is purposely reversed, because in the upright situation, Temperance talks about everything in the right time, the right place, right person. Stars are lining up. But when this reverses, stars are not lining up. Something is off. And here we are discovering what needs to be glued, what is off. The Queen of Wands and Knight of Wands will be significators, either or. One can be you, another one can be a partner. They are interchangeable because, of course, the relationship flows 2 ways. As you're seeing here, those are those wands, arrows going through the air. It's the energy in between the 2 partners, the communication. The reason that for everybody I'm using wands, I really think when we are into back to reconnection mode, we also want to be enticing, we want to be active, and hence we kind of like get into this kind of like wands situation, and we all become wands in that situation, and then slowly we are kind of like going back to whatever is our normal mode. Now these 2 cards, the Judgment, I'm literally looking here, is this relationship karmic? Is this relationship is in your best interest? What from the past issues you're bringing here to the fore to actually really deal with, and why this relationship even existed? Kind of like really important category, what you need to clear in order for you to move forward, even if your ex doesn't come back. And then lastly, for Wands, is telling me what is the future of this relationship? What can happen? Can you go to this next level or not? So I think this kind of like was not taking too much time, and now that you know all the significators, let's start going in the reading. So is your ex coming back? Hello my Virgo friends, and hopefully you're doing very well as welcome to everybody who's cross watching, and hoping their Virgo is kind of like going to wink back at them. So let's start, Virgo, checking your readings. And as I said, Some of the messages could be really directed at you, the others to the other Virgos. And to get your own private reading, this reading is on a special for $50. So check me out, cattarot.ca. So Virgos, woo, you have 2 of Cups, and then you have 4 of Cups. That's you, the Hermit. Then Ace of Pentacles. Someone really wants to talk. 9 of Cups. Holy smoly, Virgo. Ah, I knew like not everything can be like perfect. The Devil. And the Chariot. Now this is very interesting because up to this point everything was like so nice and smooth. So obviously this category that Magician is like talking about here is talking about what are the best things about you. So this is definitely a soulmate. This is a soulmate card. Like there is like that energy of I want to reach out, not feeling, you know, being, I guess, shunned, or just like feeling kind of like the connectiveness on a much deeper level than just on a superficial level. But this is maybe your story, right? There was an issue about somebody not really knowing if this is the real thing or is this is the real thing for me. You know, because look at him. Hey, dude, do you really want this, you know, red wine, house wine? Nah. Well, how about, you know, this is kind of like now our special rosé. No, not my thing. How about this kind of like special, you know, Grenache? No, not my thing. How about this kind of like very expensive European wine? No. So what the heck you want? Kind of a thing. It looks like somebody was not able to figure out what they want, not able to focus really that not always you get what you want. Sometimes this is kind of describing idealistic thing that had to work on, and somebody kind of like was getting disappointed as a result of that, because what is going on here? He's feeling dissatisfied, so that's kind of like that kind of depression. But here, like this person who is giving is feeling rejected as well. So maybe kind of like you felt that no matter what you did would please this person, because like everything that you wanted, that you were offering, was just like not good enough. On the other hand, maybe this person said, look, you know, I'm just going to be all or nothing, I'm not going to kind of settle. Maybe you also felt that way. Because the Hermit, which is your card, is a really lovely card. Like there is like the basically a star in the lantern, which kind of talks about, okay, I really need to find my own star, my own true north, my own North Star, where, you know, like I really don't necessarily care right now on the outside. So hence he is in those rags where, you know, going around the streets basically homeless. But when this reverses, it's kind of like more or less a feeling of void and feeling of loneliness when those messages are not coming, and instead the brain keeps circulating rapidly in all kind of directions. This could be one of those cases when you really can't even focus, when you kind of like start one thing and it's, oh, what was it doing? Oh, this is what I want. And you start second and third and just like keep going, and finally just getting frustrated. Now, it's kind of very interesting. This kind of like is where it gets interesting, because then you have the Ace of Pentacles, which is a really good start, especially for the Earth sign. So Ace of Pentacles, again, we have the out of nowhere cloud motive, something materializing, something can go. And since this is a category that is kind of describing the energy in between, it looks like there will be communication. This person wants you to come to them. Look at, like, this person is very, I would say self-indulgent, pardon me. Look at this. Isn't this the same pose? Strike a pose. Hey, come to me, babe. Or, you know, I'm so important, you know, you just have to keep serving on me and I'll just say yes or no, kind of a thing. And you, Virgo, that kind of like doesn't work well with you, even though this is another 9. Maybe you're feeling kind of like put down by this kind of attitude, and also looks like this person is very much into some kind of well, let's say underhanded kind of like things. They're either having somebody else on the side, or they don't want to commit, which is kind of weird on one hand. And that's what the Devil does. The Devil doesn't really come with horns Devil comes in a really pretty package. They're like really elegant. They're well put together. They know what to say, and they know the right time what to say it until you're hooked, and then off you go. And it looks like that's kind of that kind of individual, which is kind of like self-absorbed, wants everything, like wants to go from 1 to 9 immediately. And hence things kind of like get derailed. The Chariot means there's like too much of this black and white, all or nothing. Too much of like it is my way or the highway, and this kind of like is not creating the glue, which basically it's saying that two of you could have. But it's kind of hard, because if you want to make an apple salad, then you need two basically ripe apples, and one is ripe and one is like still that crab apple. It's just like, ugh, right? That's kind of like here one person needs to ripen, that's for sure. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to hear your comments on this one. There is a karma card here showing, ooh, 2 of them together and both reversed. So that's very, I can see why you're feeling. This is also could be a sense of codependency, where this person doesn't even know what love is, and maybe hence they're like so utterly dissatisfied, or vice versa, right? Where, you know, sometimes people feel, oh my gosh, I cannot live, I cannot breathe without this person. That's not love, that's codependency. Love is just having a kind of like very timid sadness if there is a separation. So you have the Justice, Judgment, 7 of Wands, Ace of Cups reversed, look at that, and 10 of Pentacles reversed. There is like Queen of Wands showing up, and Page of Swords. So I don't know, guys, are you married, some of you? For the married people, it looks like something is going through divorce. There's clearance, and there are like lots of dirt coming up. You know, when I clean my place and everything is like so nice and spick and span, and then I send Roomba kind of like just to cover it up, and then like Roomba comes back with a whole bunch of dirt, and it's like, where did that come from? This is kind of a thing where you're still unearthing a whole bunch of things. Where did that come from? It's like you are, unfortunately, because you are so perfectionist, you're kind of like taking it to heart, feeling, oh my gosh, I should have known that. What the hell happened, and why did I not know about that? And maybe you're getting angry. You're kind of like standing on your hind legs, and you're not letting go, and maybe, you know, you're trying to be convinced into something that is not, because Judgment is meaning definitely that somebody knew the right and wrong, and it took wrong, and you got wronged. Because Justice reversed means maybe you have ended up being on the receiving end of the breakup, or somebody really didn't care about your own feelings, or how is the situation impacting you, but justice is always served, because this is not a card of legal justice. It could mean, that's what I said, it could mean divorce, because also the 10 of Pentacles reversed, and the Devil, or somebody could be with somebody else, maybe telling you that they are getting divorced. It could be a whole bunch of combination, but the truth is that there are some kind of lies over here. And I think you're going to become very aware of that, and you're going to override your will to be with this person, because you're going to start kind of looking into, well, you know what, maybe I shouldn't go in this direction. This person is kind of like pretending to you, though, that all is well and dandy. Their world is so famous, and this is somehow that narcissistic, codependent behavior that happens, right? Like it's all you. Oh my gosh, me, I'm perfect. I'm just... And usually these people are very physically oriented, right? It's all kind of like flesh. It's all down to that. I look at this like my muscle, as if, you know, this is not equally needed to kind of like maintain their personality and how they deal with this. But this tells me that actually looks like that there's somebody who has problems in the family. And Queen of Wands is appearing, so especially if you're female over here, it's telling you need to reassert yourself and speak your truth, but it might come out in a kind of like really abrupt way. This also can talk about, hey, you know what, maybe staying together, you know, kind of damn if you don't, damn if you do kind of thing. Staying because of the family together, or somebody maybe trying in spite of kind of like the evidence that things are just simply not working out. So let's see where this is going. The Death. This just like is not sustainable, guys. Look at it, that here is reversed. There's like a suffering or the situation, and somebody, and like you have like two cards with the scales, the Justice and the Merchant, judicial scales and the Merchant scale. So no matter how thin you make this pancake, things are problematic, right? Because this person here is falling in a category that needs to be repaired. Give and take. There is like no balance in this relationship, and this is clearly stating that you need to stabilize yourself. You need to claim your world. You need to be this emperor, not the empress, the emperor. Kind of like look the lay of the land and kind of like see what's wrong with this picture. And I think that answer is going to come to you, that maybe you're suffering over somebody who's not worth your tears, who is not worth your suffering. Remember this, because it looks like to me that you're trying everything, and this person is definitely shredding you in pieces. I mean, it can be either or, right? It can go both ways. So there is like some kind of like fire in your belly over here that is going to happen. Ooh, it's kind of interesting. Look at this, child psychology, reverse psychology, the Tower. Yes, and this is what happens when you start asserting yourself. And this is just simply weird, you know, like the teeter-totter, like you're on one side and you start pushing it down, the other person goes up. That's what I'm seeing here. You are here defensive and they're like strong, right? So you're on the bottom, they're on the top, and now you're taking basically that control back, having such a strong card. Look at this, you have two majors, and their world is falling apart. Oh my gosh, I cannot control this person, etc., etc. There is like a lot of, I would say, young energy over here, which could be green energy, in a sense that somebody is not mature enough, and maybe somebody just really needs to be kind of like left alone. The suggestion here is like you guys need to kind of like just take some time off, disconnect, try to do meditation, try to do Reiki, try to do different things, and kind of like repair, especially them. Their vibrations are really low, and that's what's going to become very evident, because like they're like really just going downwards. So Virgo, it's kind of very interesting that you're going to sort of like be reborn through this pain process, and it's going to be really amazing to see your comments. So guys, to get your own reading, check me at cattarot.ca, and yeah, check me on the Facebook and on Instagram, and please share, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much, guys. Love you bunch.